Welcome everyone to episode 3 of Sports Talk with your coach, Coach Swanky. I am your coach, Kevin Swanky, Leominster product, Leominster born, Canada's a border city of Alberta and Saskatchewan. The topics we're going to discuss today is the Dwight Howard trade, UFC 150, which went down on Saturday, the WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view, which comes up this Sunday, and my picks of the week, as well as the NHL lockout that seems to be looming over our heads. First, the Dwight Howard trade. The big fish in the pond, of course, was Dwight Howard. He wanted to get moved, wanted to get traded, so the Magic gave him his chance. Dwight went to the LA, which is going to be huge for the Lakers. Other big names, Andrew Bynum went to the Sixers, as long as Andre Iguodala going to the Nuggets. Trade goes down with the Lakers getting Dwight Howard, Chris Duhon, and Earl Clark. Sixers get Andrew Bynum and Jason Richardson, as well as the Nuggets getting Andre Iguodala, and the Magic getting a bunch of players, including Josh McRoberts, Aaron Aflalo, Al Harrington, Mo Harkless, Nikolai Vucevic, Christian Iyenga, and 5 picks over the next 5 years. 3 of them being picks of the first round from each team, so the Sixers, um, Nuggets, and Lakers. The Sixers kind of got the bad, or the Magic kind of get the bad end of this deal. I mean, they got a bunch of random players. The picks are nice, but you never know how picks are going to turn out. You might have a good couple years as players. You might have a star in the making, but you never know how picks are going to turn out. They got a bunch of guys. Josh McRoberts is not a starting player. Aaron Aflalo is a starting player on a bad team, so he'll probably start for the Magic. Al Harrington's been all over the place, and Mo Harkless is a rookie, so you can't really tell on what he will do. Next worst will probably be the 76ers, got the third end of the stick. Bynum's a great player, great center, but I don't see him playing as well in Philadelphia. Andre Miller will probably feed him the ball. Evan Turner will probably give him a good shot as well, but he's not a guy that'll put up 20 points, 20 points every night. He might put up 15 or so, but he's not going to get you consistent points, which the Sixers might need. They traded away Andre Iguodala, who carried them on their back during that playoff run, even though they went down to the Bulls, or beat the Bulls and then lost to the Sixers. They also got Jason Richardson. He could start for that team, but I see him more coming off the bench. They need to start a solid bench guy, and I see him coming off the bench for that team and probably putting up some good numbers, but he's been in the league quite a while, so I don't see him being a big-time guy. Next would be the runner-up in this deal will probably be the Nuggets. Andre Iguodala is a great player. Like I said, he led the Sixers to beat the Bulls without Derrick Rose in that playoff spot as they were the 8th seed. Probably without Andre Iguodala, they probably wouldn't even got past the Bulls without Derrick Rose. So it's kind of nice having Andre on a good team now. The Nuggets will put up some great numbers in that Western Conference, even though the West is now strong with Dwight Howard being on the Lakers and still with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs might be the old team again and bring back this crazy year. So it's going to be good for the Nuggets. The Andre will come off the bench, maybe even start. I see him starting, fitting well in that system. And the big winner of this trade, the LA Lakers getting Dwight Howard. I couldn't be more happy being as I'm a big Lakers fan. It's going to be a crazy starting 5. You got Dwight Howard. You have the strongest Pau Gasol. You got Steve Nash passing the ball. You got Meta World Peace in that small forward position. And you got Kobe Bryant, the unstoppable Kobe Bryant. Going to be a great starting 5 for those Lakers. No one can really match up with them. It's going to be a crazy season coming up. They automatically move into championship contenders. Automatically will probably face the Heat by everyone's predictions. But you have to think, are these big 3, big 4, big 5 starting to get annoying? I mean, the Thunder have it through drafts. The Heat picked it up through signing. Boston was the first team to do it, and now the Lakers have the big 5. Kind of annoying. I mean, I love to see some smaller markets get into the big games, but the way that the NBA is set up, it's kind of ridiculous already. So, I mean, we still get to see some good basketball in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. Regular season means nothing to me, and it will never mean anything. And the other thing I got to point out, Dwight Howard is the new Shaq. Think about it. Started with the Magic, first overall pick in their respective drafts. Big guys put up numbers, boards, blocks, everything. Then they moved to the Lakers. Another move that both of them have done. Shaq did it, and now Dwight's done it. Played with Kobe, Well, if Dwight's about to do it, Shaq did it. Didn't enjoy it, but he did it. Won quite a few championships through it. Next, they both shoot terrible free throws. Both of them do it. So it's kind of odd in that way. I mean, the only thing that's really different is that Shaq did it through a signing, Dwight did it through a trade to the Lakers, but I don't see this going any further. I mean, I could maybe see Dwight going down to the Heat and playing for the Heat, but I don't really see it. It's be interesting how Dwight plays out in there. Next, we'll talk about UFC 150. Henderson versus Edgar. Great fight card. I watched it at BP's. Quite the thing to watch down there. The great main event was great. The co-main event was great. Rest of the pay-per-view card was all right. Jake Shields did his thing as he always does, just wrestle and win over opponent. Always go for the judge's decision. He wins fights. Can't be mad at the guy. Uh, Donald Cerrone and Melvin Guillard put on a great fight. Only lasted a minute 16, but it was still a great fight. Melvin almost knocked out Donald Cerrone, and then Cerrone popped back up and knocked out Guillard. It was quite the fight, great to watch. Uh, you can't say anything bad about the fight. One fight of the night, so it even means anything more. And Donald Cerrone won knockout of the night. Now Donald will probably face Anthony Pettis, which is going to be a great fight. Look forward in your next pay-per-view cards. It's going to be a great fight, and we'll be talking about that hopefully on this show when it comes up. Also, we had Benson Henderson retain his title over Frankie Edgar in a controversial split decision. I mean, it went 48-47 Henderson, 48-47 Henderson, and 49-46 Edgar. I know myself, I had this fight scored at 49-46 Edgar, and was quite surprised when the fight was revealed to be a Benson Henderson victory. I mean, you could see those rounds 3 and 4 being a split where the judges probably made their decision that Benson won that fight. But I even had that fight scored 49-46, and that's why you never trust the judges. Dana White says it out loud, and fighters just don't believe it. But I think they are starting to realize never trust the judges, and it's going to be a thing that we'll always talk about after UFC events. Henderson will now take on Nate Diaz at a future card. We don't know what card due to Henderson having medical suspension that has to be lifted by a physician. And that's kind of an interesting thing. They haven't really said what it was that Henderson's been suspended for, but he has been suspended. It'll be interesting to see what it is and how that fight will be. Nate Diaz throws on some good fights that can be boring at sometimes, but Nate Diaz is a guy that will put up a fight in the night, and especially against Benson Henderson. Um, Diaz could take on a guy, I don't even know. He'll probably sit on the sidelines until Benson gets off, but he'll be training with Nick, that kind of thing. Next, we'll talk about SummerSlam. WWE SummerSlam is this Sunday, August 19th, at Los Angeles, California. The party of the summer, as it's been said. The big matches: Jericho versus Ziggler will be probably the show stealer. Jericho is leaving to do his Fozzy thing right away, so don't expect Jericho to win it. They're gonna put on a great match, but you don't. If you see Jericho win this, he's automatically gonna be destroyed after and have an injury kind of thing. But it'll be a great match to watch. Next will be Cena versus Punk versus Big Show. It'll be a slow match. Big Show's just kind of thrown in there as a wild card kind of thing. I hate Big Show. I know a lot of people do. John Cena versus Punk will be the highlight of it. Um, it'll probably be a back and forth match. Punk will probably retain the title, but don't give an outside shot with Cena. He is Super Cena, as they say. Um, Charlie Sheen is supposed to make an appearance, maybe. He's doing his anger management thing, and Daniel Bryan and Kane have been doing this anger management angle with AJ. So it is possible that we might see Charlie Sheen make an appearance via Skype or something like that. Be great press for the WWE, but kind of pisses off a fan from time to time. And the biggest thing is Brock Lesnar has his second pay-per-view fight against Triple H. It'll be an interesting fight. There's a lot of background to it that it's most WWE guys will understand between the families, between Paul Heyman, between Brock Lesnar, between Triple H. A lot of things has been brought up. It's been 10 years since Brock won his WWE title against The Rock at SummerSlam. So look to them saying stuff like, "Oh, this has been 10 years," and stuff like that. So it will be interesting to see how it goes. So that would be the end of SummerSlam. It should be a great pay-per-view. You can't really watch it anywhere, so enjoy it where you can if you are going to watch it. The picks of the week. Seeing as there's not really any sports, I mean, I could bet on a series or something like that, but I just don't see anything really happening this week other than our CFL. Uh, Look to my three. I'll each give three picks. There isn't really a money pick this week, but I will put my three picks out this week. Edmonton should beat the Montreal Alouettes. Corey Boyd will be making his debut in the green and gold. It'll be a great thing to see. He'll probably put up a big game, more than likely, seeing as he's got something to prove now. Montreal's been kind of weak this year. You'll see how they play. I really doubt they'll play. So Edmonton is my pick in that one. Stamps and Argos. I'm a Stamps fan. I'm automatically going to pick the Calgary Stampeders. Ricky Ray is a strong guy in that offense, and without Corey Boyd, you're going to hand it off to another running back, which is going to be a different offense. So, I mean, it'll be a pass-happy offense from now on with the Argos, but I think the Stampeders will take them. Calgary Stampeders are my pick. And the last is the Lions versus Riders. Look to the Lions to win this game as well, seeing as they are the team to beat, supposedly in the West. Riders will drop four straight and move to the bottom of the division. BC Lions are my last pick of the week. So I've got the Edmonton Eskimos, Calgary Stampeders, and BC Lions, all West teams this week. Finally, we have the NHL lockout. The big thing that's coming out this week. Uh, Gary Bettman said he will lock out the players if they don't come up to agreement in about the end of September, which is a terrible thing for an NHL fan or any fan of hockey in general. Everyone hates when the NHL was in lockout. When it was back in lockout in '04 or in '05, it was just a terrible year. You couldn't watch hockey. Everyone loves watching hockey. Even my dad loves watching hockey from time to time. But Gary Bettman, is he the worst commissioner in NHL history? I mean, almost have three lockouts on his hands and his Uranus thing. That's a terrible record to have. Three lockouts. I mean, not. I don't remember any commissioner ever having three lockouts. You don't know how long this lockout will end. The next meeting is until August 22nd, which is about a week from now. Um, and from that point on, they only have 24 days to come to a decision, or it's not going to go down. We're going to have a lockout, which nobody will be happy about. I'm not going to be happy about. I know you guys won't be happy about. Seeing as you're watching this video, you love sports. Love watching hockey. So you can't say this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Well, it's going to be a bad thing. What am I saying? It's going to be a good thing. It will never be a good thing. I mean, you can say the players are greedy, the owners are greedy. Both sides are greedy. You're gonna get that with greedy sports. But the biggest thing is, I read this on CBC, is that the players will get reduce their revenues from 57% to 43% in the league's first agreement. That's a big downfall from what they usually had. 14%, that's a huge amount of numbers to lose revenue. If I went from having 60% of revenue off my jersey and then all the way down to 40%, I'm not going to be happy either. I'd probably put up a fight. So I don't blame the players. I can blame the owners a bit, but they're both greedy. We can both say they're greedy, and it's going to cost us a year of hockey. Well, that's episode 3 for you guys. I am out. Enjoy your day and enjoy your weekend. Coach Swanky out.